Hello, hello, Virgo, and welcome to Stars with Stasi. This is your weekly reading for April 7th through April 13th, or whenever you come across this message, it's meant for you. I've already shuffled your cards, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into this week's message. Now, we do have the eclipse, right? The Aries solar eclipse happening at the beginning of the week on April 8th, and that's going to be in your 8th house. So, Scorpio energy, because I'm a Scorpio. So let me tell you about the 8th house. That's going to be shared resources, sex, death, taxes, your intimate relationships. And it's always a very deep transformative house. So this is going to be a time where you're going to be reevaluating, like I said, shared resources, your intimate relationships, and how you feel about things on a deep personal level. So we have the masquerade. Hiding your true self and projection. So there could be an energy of you feeling like you haven't been authentic to who you are. And maybe it's because you've been, I don't know, around the wrong people, or you've changed. We've got the oracle waiting for important information. And number 50, spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. So I feel like there's a lot of change coming your way. And this indicates that whatever transformation you're going through, you're going to need to go with the flow. A lot of changes happening, I'm hearing like redirection. Right. So we're going to pull 9 cards, and then I'll go ahead and clarify each of those cards. We've got 6 of Pentacles as I speak about shared resources. So 6 of Pentacles is equal give and take, things coming into balance, but it's also when you are a charitable person or you are the recipient of a charitable donation. But we're going to clarify all these cards because that's just like the main meaning of the card. But I feel like you might have yourself, like I said, checking your finances and potentially, again, this is more about your shared resources. Like if you're in a marriage, a partnership, let's see, the World card, things coming to a completion, right? And this is also when the World card shows up, it says that you're done with one chapter of your life, which this is showing up for every single sign, right? The World card, the Tower, Aces, eclipse season, So comment below and let me know what major changes are happening in your life. We've got the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, she is very nurturing. She has a deep understanding about others. She's very compassionate and can see both sides of the coin. So you might be in this energy of thinking back about days of old, past situations that have hurt you, or where you've had to come out of, where you've had to look at how your behavior, right? Those are all very 8th house things. It's like that reevaluation. How did I show up in this relationship? How did I show up in, was I nurturing? Was I compassionate? Did I understand? Excuse me. So those are the energies that I feel strongly. As you can see, I'm even struggling because the energy's coming through. I feel like, it's this reevaluation of how you show up. And I feel like you want to do things differently. I feel like you want to have a different lifestyle. I'm getting this energy of like you just haven't been yourself, and I feel like maybe you're just figuring out who you are nowadays, and that's okay because this is the collective. The collective. Everyone has gotten the shakeups and been put in a new perspective. The Fool card shows up as I'm saying everyone's starting over. This is exactly where you're supposed to be, no matter how difficult whatever is happening with you right now, Virgo, because I'm getting this sense of like heaviness because there is a completion happening. But that completion is followed by a new beginning. And this Fool, right, is just excited to be out of a loop, excited to be doing something new. Fools can be caution to the wind also, because now that you've completed a cycle and you're exhausted, generally it happens like this. You're tired, something's done, and then you go, you know what? I don't care what happens next. Let's just see how it goes. Movement towards adventure, which, by the way, I want to point out that this is number 50 and 5 and 0. So 5 is a number of disruption, change, needing to be adaptable. And 0 is limitless possibilities and potential ahead. So whatever it is that you are heading towards is going to allow you to be more yourself and discover more about who you are. I've got the 9 of Pentacles. This indicates like fulfillment for oneself in the material. Let me just keep going. I feel like, you've been looking at your resources. Again, eighth house stuff, looking at your resources. You might be expecting, I'm hearing like money from a settlement or even tax money, like something, something unexpected. This has come up for the earth signs. That came up for, who did I just do? Taurus as well. I've got Page of Swords. So let me see. The Page of Swords, that's somebody who's pretty curious. It's like looking into something new, having conversations, being very intellectual. You might be, I don't know. I feel like you're having a lot of conversations, or you're going to this week. Let me put it this way. I feel like something's come to a head. You know how we just said you have like a new chapter starting? And I feel like that is like you're in the muck of that now. And then with this Fool card, I feel like you start investigating, okay, well, now that I'm in this position, how can I make this work for me? And whatever that is, like, I feel like some of you are starting with a new career. Some of you are on pause in your relationships. I literally just heard that you're on pause. Huh, that's fascinating. So maybe there is a relationship, like a separation or something like that. All right, so we've got the Queen of Wands comes through. Queen of Wands says that, you know what, you're very magnetic right now. Things are going to work out for you. And, all eyes on you. Queen of Wands, Queen of Wands is, oh, there we go. Judgment card. So I feel like this is happening so that you can come into alignment with yourself. So when the Judgment card comes in, that's a good indicator that you're leaving your old life behind, which keeps showing up in your cards because we've got the World card, the Fool card, Nine of Pentacles. That's like more single, independent energy. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're in relationship or not. You can be in relationship and still be, the goal, right, is to be in relationship, but to be complete on your own and to be, comfortable in your own skin, in your own house, in your own relationships. So there's a lot of changes happening here. The Strength card's at the bottom of the deck. So some of you could be dealing with a Leo or a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, or it could just be that you're in this energy of like facing your demons, right? And having to tame your emotional self. That's the best way I can put it, because there's so many changes happening here. But look, Judgment card, these people are in a coffin and they're being pulled out of the coffin because they have to commit to their next stage of life. They have to commit to whatever it is that they say they're going to do. And this is like, I feel like spirits, taking you to task. Like, all right, Virgo, you said you were going to do these things. Now it's time to step into it. Hold on. The Empress card came out with the Hermit card. I'm going to take those together because Virgo is the Hermit. So when Virgo shows up, you're showing up in your own energy. And then we have the Empress card here coming together. And I feel like this. You spending some time inward, doing this eighth house work, reevaluating your position, your thoughts, doing this transformation, right, is going to lead you to Empress energy. The Empress is creative, nurturing. She's an alchemist. She can take any situation that hasn't worked for her in the past and says, you know what, I'm going to give this energy back to the earth. And from that, I'm going to grow my best self. And if you can think of it, it's almost like the gardening of spiritual life, for lack of better words. I mean, I don't know how else to put that, but it's this feeling of like tending to your spiritual garden, right? And that's how she's showing me. Tending to your spiritual garden. Do you need to water it? Do you need to plant more seeds? Do you need to harvest, right? Do you need to look at what you planted literally 6 months ago? So we're in eclipse season. What were you doing 6 months ago? What thoughts were you building upon, right? Where were you questioning life? And what changes did you make in the 6 months? And now you're at another eclipse season where you're going to reevaluate and you're going to refine. Six of Wands. So this is great because I'm getting a lot of sixes for the collective. 6 is a number of balance, harmony, beauty, things coming into fruition, things coming into the material, right? 6 is, so here you've got 2 6s. You've got the 6 of Pentacles, right? Equal give and take, charitable giving, right? Being the recipient of someone's Hospitality, someone maybe comes out of the woodwork and says, hey, I'd love to have you over, that kind of thing, right? And then I've got the Six of Wands, which is a card of victory. When I see two sixes together, let's do some numerology. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 in the major arcana, hanged man energy, telling you to look at things differently. Saying, hey, you know what? There's more than one way to pluck a chicken, and the hanged man is hanging upside down from the tree of knowledge, and the head is illumined, right? Because they've had an epiphany. They see things differently. And I feel like this time that you're taking to yourself for whatever it is in this next week is going to allow you the solitude to problem solve. And the Six of Wands is an amazing card of success and victory. So there are better days coming ahead for you. And that's, again, the collective is going through a huge transition. You're not alone in this, but it definitely can be an uncomfortable period if you fight it. If you go with the flow, things come a lot more naturally. Seven of Wands. So this is perfect. So the Seven of Wands is about boundary building. And with the World card coming through, there's this energy here of like, look, you've got to protect your space. You've got to protect your energy, and you have to, like, I'm seeing an incubator, all right? And I'm seeing like you have to give yourself space and compassion. And as I say that, I'm looking at the Queen of Cups, and that's what she's all about. Give yourself space and compassion to change, to grow, to evolve, basically. I have here Three of Swords. So there's some heartache here that's either recently happened or that you might, be triggered to think about again. And the Queen of Cups is saying, look, have compassion, okay, for the situation, because it's not so much that you're having compassion for the other person necessarily. I mean, that's the goal, right? When hurt people, right? And sometimes, a person will bleed all over someone who didn't cut them. So is that the energy that you're giving off, or is that the energy that you're in? You have to think about that, because it's going to go either way. But the Three of Swords with the Queen of Cups just says, look, you might be hurting now. You might be in this situation now where you're feeling like things didn't pan out. You're upset. This is maybe a romantic situation, or you could be dealing with a Cancer. This could be Pisces, Scorpio, but usually she represents Cancer. So this could be where you had a situation where there was a heartbreak, right? Some kind of deception or something. And I'm hearing, have compassion for yourself and the situation. If you know that you were the person that was being lied on or lied to, then it's not about you, right? This is about the other human being making up a story or having their own internal battle. And it's really difficult to tell what other people are dealing with, because we are always looking at things through our perspective. So there's an energy here of like having to release an old past hurt and get through it. And as you rebuild yourself, build new boundaries with the Seven of Wands, you may have to build, some, I hear, this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you're going to have to build some bridges and build some walls. That's interesting. Build some bridges and build some walls. So maybe the boundaries are with that past situation, not allowing it to live rent free in your mind. And then with the bridges, right, there might be reparations. Sorry, sometimes I hear it to repair things from the past. And I'm being drawn to look at this Oracle card, waiting for important information. So I've got the Four of Pentacles came out with the Ace of Swords together, and that's coming out to clarify the Fool card. I'm going to take them both. So the Four of Pentacles is about foundation, stability, your home, your investments, things that keep you grounded, things that are, like, your house, your money, like that. But then this Ace of Swords comes in. And then I see the Oracle, where this is about information. Like, you're waiting for something. You're waiting to hear about something. You're waiting to hear back from something. There's something here where this allows you to start over, right? Like, you get a new idea, new perspective. So I'm going to clarify that just a little bit more. Anything else for Virgo with that? Why the Ace of Swords, please? Okay. So the Ace of Swords came out. I'm not going to take them all, but I want to look at them. I have the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun card, and the Knight of Pentacles. That's really good. So I would just say whatever it is that you learn this week, maybe about that past heartbreak, right? Whatever ideas or information comes to you. I'm feeling like a download, like, you're going to have an aha moment. It's going to have you looking at everything real different. Because let's go back to the 2 6s. Those 2 6s, remember I said reduced to 12, but 12 further reduces to 3, Empress energy. And she shows up in your reading saying, hey, you know what? All of this mess, all of this heartbreak, we're going to turn it around. I'm hearing like turn the frown upside down, because was a huge life lesson for you to get you back on track. So take that how it resonates. I see the Wheel of Fortune again. It's like, fated events, Virgo. Fated events. All right, so why the Nine of Pentacles? The Moon card. All right. So when the Moon card, 7 of Cups or High Priestess, has been showing up in these readings as clarifiers during the eclipse, it's an indicator to me that it's a fated event. It's being concealed. However, this also is Cancer energy. So you guys really could be dealing with a Cancer, again, a water sign. But I feel like this this 9 of Pentacles is being clarified by the Moon card. Could also indicate like, look, some of this freedom that you're going to get, 9 of Pentacles, some of this like just stability that you get comes from digging deep and going into the subconscious mind. And I know that sounds kind of like, what are you talking about, Stasi? I mean that to understand the things that go on outside of you, you got to understand yourself. As within, so without. And when you are being triggered by all the humans around you, and people don't love to hear this, but it's the reality of energetics. When you are in turmoil with your partner at work, at the schoolyard, whatever it is, that's the universe saying, hey, are you paying attention to what we're showing you outside of you? Do you see how these people are acting? It's triggering you. It's because maybe there's a part of you that needs to say, do I do that? Is there any part of me that has hurt others? Is there any part of me that needs to change the way I behave or speak or interact? It's 8th house work, right? This may not be how you normally handle your day to day, but when you're working with the 8th house, you're in a retrograde, you're in eclipse season, Virgo, this energy of this month, because we do have a full moon in Scorpio, more 8th house work at the end of the month. So this is such an introspective month. But when a person sits down and reviews their energy from the deepest parts of themselves, they release expectations of others. They release old paradigms. They release constrictions, restrictions, and you end up going with the flow. You end up going with adventure, and you end up being yourself, and you take down the mask, because then you realize that, you know what, you're perfectly made how you are, and you're supposed to evolve and change. So you're supposed to have hiccups and bad days and good days. But it's a lot of perception happening here for you. And I feel like when you sit down with your past hurts this week, and as you head towards May, right? Because I'm hearing that May is going to be a big pivotal month for you. Like April is going to be very deep. And, as a Scorpio, I got to tell you, I'm sorry. I feel it. It's going to be challenging in the sense that it's heavy energy, but nothing you can't get through. The point is, once you get through it, life changes. Once May hits, you are a different human. Truly. I feel like it's like your battery gets recharged this month. Page of Swords being clarified by the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands is like, okay, so the Ace of Wands is that spark of creation, that energy, that desire, that enthusiasm. You're like, I'm going to do it. 2 of Wands. All right, well, now how am I going to do it? I want to go. I want to do something different, but and the 2 of Wands, maybe you're exploring whatever speed bumps are ahead of you. Maybe it's a lot of daydreaming. But with this Page of Swords, it's like you're doing some investigating here about how to make your changes. Again, 8th house work, right? How am I going to change? What do I need to look at in my life? What's holding me back? Is it a person, place, thing? Is it myself? Is it my own limiting thoughts? Queen of Wands being clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune is great for you. Being in the right place at the right time. This has come up for every sign this week. So I feel like we're just having a shakeup. Truly. The wheel is number 10, 1 is a number of new beginnings. 0 is a number of limitless possibilities. With the Queen of Wands, very attractive, and also fire sign energy. So you could be dealing with a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. But there's a new chapter here in your life happening. And we've talked about that. So it's not only that you have the World card showing up and saying that there's a new chapter in your life, but the Wheel of Fortune is like a karmic cycle, right? A karmic cycle is coming to an end. So I go back to this heartbreak, right? Whatever that was, that heartbreak, that cheating, lying, stealing, whoever was working against you, there's resolution that comes, like an internal resolution that comes for you in the month of April. I see the 8 of Swords. And I'm going to take that to clarify the Judgment card because so the 8 of Swords is about self-limiting beliefs and your own restrictions that you put on yourself. I feel like people have fed you a narrative about who and what you are, and I feel like you started to believe it. And this is a deconstruction of that false persona. That's a mouthful, but that's what I'm hearing. This week is a deconstruction of your false persona, and you're being called into right relationship with yourself, and you're being called to shake off other people's bullshit. That's how it's coming through, Virgo. Shake off other people's bullshit. Like, what people think is their business. It's not yours. So if somebody had the audacity to share with you their twisted thoughts about how they see you, what you did, and all the stuff, people come at you with all their blah, blah, right? The emotional trash can comes out. Yeah, shake that off like a wet dog, right? Teflon that. That's not your problem. These people have their own issues, and you can't internalize that. Look, you don't know. People have all kinds of things happen to them internally that they don't know what's going on with them. And so this month, people can be acting out of character. All right, so let's clarify this Empress and the Hermit card, please. Let's clarify this Empress and the Hermit card for Virgo. The Tower. All right, as I said. All right, so the Tower, sudden change, upheaval, right? Unexpected things. And the Tower is often given such a bad rap, right? Everybody says, no, this is going to be the worst thing ever. It's perception. I mean, is it going to be the worst thing? If, I'm going to give you an example. I don't see this in your reading, so I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say, you make plans to go to vacation, and all of a sudden that vacation doesn't pan out because of, I don't know, that heartbreak. You're not in that relationship anymore. Weather, that could really happen with that. And I have to say this, with that full moon in Scorpio at the end of this month, Scorpio being a fixed signs, I've had a lot of premonitions about water damage to homes, like any place that water's contained, pipes bursting, things leaking, natural disasters having to do with water. And as just a matter of reference, I actually had such a huge premonition. I stopped everything I was doing the day before the, what was it? The day before Mercury retrograde, right? Or the eclipse. It was the 25th, I think it was. And I hopped on live to talk to my members, and I warned them about water damage. I said, listen, I feel this very strongly. I feel like, this inability to breathe almost. The next day there was that ship that ran into the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Maryland where I live. So I'm just saying, like, side note, be very diligent about your house. If you're traveling, water, anything that's contained, this full moon and it being in Scorpio has a really, there's a lot of potential for expansion of water in contained areas. That's what I will say. All right, now back to you. Tower moment. My point is, if you are derailed, right, from a vacation plan, a job, something doesn't work out, it definitely is going to be perceived by you initially as like, oh shit, this is awful. However, if after that, the reason you were derailed is because, the best job ever is right around the corner, or you are going to instead get a vacation voucher for something even better, it's that kind of exchange that the universe is giving you. So something unexpected does happen and it shakes things up, but look at why. The Empress card and the Virgo card. So because you've done some soul searching, because you've been like, okay, I can allow this to leave, this energy, this whatever it is, like that Eight of Swords. I'm going to let this perception go so I can live my best life. That changes things for you suddenly and rapidly. So let me see if there's anything else I can clarify with this Tower card before we move on to, let's see. Tell me more about this Tower card, please. Tell me more about this Tower card for Virgo. I've got the Magician card, as within, so without. This literally is a perception shift. I feel like your whole world changes because you see something differently. You see that this is not about you and that you have to make some changes. Like, I keep getting this image of somebody, again, feeding you a narrative that you have actually like taken on, and then I see you shedding it this week. Anything else with that Magician? The Justice card, things coming into balance. There we go. So this is Libra energy, but it's also things coming into balance and things like karmic justice, things, the truth of the matter comes out. And I feel like that's going to be probably the Tower moment. Like maybe this false narrative or this false belief or whatever, whoever hurt you, something comes to light about it that releases you from that pain. I have number 21, Bride in a Cage, and that is very much what we've been talking about. You've been limited, whether it's because you've limited yourself or because you're in the wrong environment and the perception has been limiting. But I feel like this is about you coming out, like coming out of the cage, coming out of the closet, coming out of hiding. And this is like a rebirth. I'm in my mind, I see a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. So this is what's happening for you. This is number 21, and that reduces to 3, Empress. And this is the World card, right? And the Major Arcana. This is like you coming into right relationship with yourself, you releasing things that don't serve you, you reevaluating your relationships, your resources. It's a lot of heavy work this month. But I'm telling you, May is going to be very different. Very different. All right, let's look at this Empath card for Virgo, please. I heard learning to fly. So I guess like as you are reevaluating where you are in life, it's like I'm getting, I think I said this to you earlier, like I feel like it's like training ground, like a training situation. Like you're learning to walk again, right? You're learning who you are. You're going to die. Look at this. No, I mean, listen, when I said you're going to die, let me just stop because we're all from different countries. That's sarcasm. I don't mean literal death. I mean like, oh my gosh, this is big news. Okay, so let's rewind because I forget that my sarcasm does not always translate well. So this reads accepting the past. No one's dying. No one is dying. Accept the past. I'm saying that this is going to be a time where that old life just is. It becomes a closed chapter in your story. And what you used to feed so much energy to, like, why did they say that? How could this happen? Blah, 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 right? Because we all do it. And when you were giving all that energy to it, you were draining yourself. Now, all of this happens, things come to light, you release it, and because you accept it, it's like you are recharged and enlivened with new energy, new potential to focus on you. So number 35 reduces to 8. 8 is a number of manifestation and abundance, material gain, and it says accepting the past. And I feel like accepting the past is going to change the trajectory of your life. And you're going to see things differently from this time forward. Because from now on, it's almost like you create this coat of Teflon where you just let things fly off you. Because quite frankly, I feel that whatever you've been through was the most impactful thing that you've gone through in life so far. It's coming through really strongly, Virgo. Like whatever you're dealing with has been the heaviest thing of your life. But this is the release portion of that experience. And that's amazing. So as you go through these transformations, Virgo, remember, we're all stars from the sky with feet on the ground, doing the best we can with the information that we have. So be kind to yourselves and each other. If you're looking for a more personal experience, feel free to head over to my website at starswithstasi.com, where you can order your astrological charts, a mediumship reading, or tarot card readings. Okay. Also, I do have lives on the weekends, and I'll be posting that schedule this week as we deal with the Mercury retrograde and all of the equipment changes. So thanks for spending your afternoon with me. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And until next week, may the magic that we weave and the words that we speak bring healing to all those who seek it. Have a great week ahead, Virgo. See you next time, and shine brightly.